Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Hyperight Data Talks. Today, I'm here with Deepak Yadav. Welcome, Deepak. It's my pleasure to have you here today.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you, Anna. And I really appreciate the platform where we have a platform to connect and learn, right? So thank you so much for this thing. Yeah.
Thank you too for making the time to speak with me today. Deepak will also be presenting at the upcoming 10th edition of the Data Innovation Summit in May. And Deepak, for today's discussion, I'd like to start with asking you to share a bit about yourself. What is your current working focus, and what is your professional background?
Sure. Yeah. So thanks for the question. Sure. I think I have a decent journey in data engineering for the past 18 plus years, and I have seen a lot of systems, backend systems being evolved from back in like 2006 we have Oracle, we have Teradata, and then in 2013-14 when Hadoop and Hive was kind of picking up, and then in 2017 we have Snowflake. And now, as you all see, right, I think we do have AWS platform, Redshift and all, but then right now it's all boomed since past 2 years. It's AI/ML, right? So over the past 18 years, I think it's been kind of a learning as well as innovative journey for me. I worked across multiple domains, somewhere like financial services. I worked in retail, marketing. I also built scalable, low latency data platforms. Help our customers to kind of scale up in the business needs. Currently, I'm with Amazon, as you all know, right? So I'm in Amazon. I lead the data engineering and AI/ML division in fintech automation services. My main focus here is transforming financial data operations. I'm more passionate about leveraging in the current role how we can leverage AI/ML for automation, identifying the anomalies, right? And also for analytics prediction, right? Because right now, if you think of in a way from a customer standpoint, majority of the customers are kind of struggling with kind of doing a lot of manual work. So my main focus in these three areas where I wanted to help them improve their day-to-day life cycle, right? And also making sure that I build some solutions which enhance their day-to-day activities and reduce their manual work every day. So that is how my 18 years and current role is currently being there in this current company. Yeah.
Thank you for that introduction. You mentioned that currently you're working on automating the data journey, which is also a topic covered by your presentation at the summit. So my next question would be, can you share a sneak peek of what can the delegates expect from your presentation at the summit?
Yeah, sure. So I think one of the important aspect of my summit is just to provide some focus on how that AI is going to impact the data engineering world, right? I think my 2 cents to data engineering is like we used to have a historical way of handling the data engineering lifecycle. Like you kind of involved in a lot of manual work in writing ingestion, transformation, and all. With this summit, I wanted to more focus on how AI can drive automation across the entire data lifecycle. That is one of the key kind of my intention of this summit is because I know like AI is being very helpful in kind of automating a lot of other things, but from a data engineering standpoint, because data is all about understanding, right? Like how do you understand the data? How do you make sure that you get the value out of that data? So my intention of the summit is to make sure that I give focus on what AI can help in automating the data lifecycle. That's one. The other one aspect is like how the LLMs power the query automation, right? So now, if you think of an example, one of the use case which I currently faced like last year was like there are a lot of back and forth happen from customer and tech standpoint where they kind of ask questions. What I wanted to focus here is like what is the value being provided from an LLM standpoint when a user or a customer comes in and he wanted to make sure that he asked a question, hey, you know what, where is my journal, right? And behind the scenes there is an automated generating complex query, or SQL or Spark SQL will be generated. So that is the other aspect of my kind of presentation and giving insights on this whole sort of presentation which I'm giving. I wanted to make sure that there are certain needs or aspects which I cover, and provide these aspects to the broader group. And I think Hyperight is a good platform where I can have these insights out, so that I can get some more clarity. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it from my summer standpoint. Yeah.
Oh, yes, I'm sure that you will come across some discussions with other attendees at the summit, with people who also work in data engineering. And when it comes to data quality and scalability, what are some, from your perspective, challenges that organizations face when implementing AI in this context?
Good question. So let me answer this question in a way where the trust and other aspects comes into picture. So I think when it comes to data quality and scalability, I think one of the we should all agree on the fact that AI is still not a fact-driven approach to surface an information, right? I think we should all agree on that. And the reason I said this because from an user perspective, what works better? It works better as a trust, right? So one of the important aspect is trust and explainability is a very important key aspect of bringing this quality and scalability into picture, because many of these businesses or customers are very much hesitating to adopt an AI driven quality checks, right? Because there is no insights to it, right? Lack of transparency in the model decisions, because behind the scene it's all model, right? I mean unless you provide a mechanism to surface these model intermediate outputs to these businesses or customers, that trust will not being built up, right? So I think that's one of the challenge. Other challenge is the as we all know, right? AI rely based on high quality data, right? And unbiased data. Now, if the data model becomes biased, right? Not a data model, but that ML model become biased, that becomes again the output will not be as per the expectation from what is being expected, right? So that is one of the other aspect where data integrity and bias is the other aspect of it, where organizations are facing a challenge. Other one is the integration. All these enterprise applications, like this ERP applications, data lakes are becoming more. It's an integration factor, right? Because integrating these ERP applications, Oracle and all, is a bit challenging. So I think that's one of the aspects which I can think of, where we can put more focus on and see like how we can integrate these systems to an AI/ML model and see like how we can handle it. Yeah, I think these are some of the things which I can think of where as a company or from an AI perspective, we can work on to improve data quality and scalability aspects to it. Yeah.
And when it comes to adopting any AI-driven solution within an organization, I believe, and I think you'd also agree that skill gaps can also be one challenge. So what skills would you say should data professionals focus on to stay relevant in this AI-driven future?
Sure. Yeah. So I feel from a data engineering standpoint, like in data enthusiast, right? I think I know they have been into this data world for past whatever years, right? I think it's a traditional way of handling. But what I feel here is, I think the norm, the mindset has been changing, and I always keep motivating my team also to kind of make sure that you keep up the pace with this rapidly changing technological world, right? So my kind of 2 cents there is, I think we as a data engineers wanted to make sure that we understand. So one of the important aspects, like from our standpoint, I think we should understand what our AI/ML fundamentals are, right? We should spend time in understanding what is supervised and unsupervised algorithms. We need to know, like, all these algorithms are where they are being used. There are a lot of AI frameworks, like, there are TensorFlow, Skeleton, PyTorch, all these frameworks. So we as engineers, not only, data scientists or machine learning engineers should know. I think we data engineers or the software engineers, they all have to understand the kind of, concepts of these AML fundamentals. That's one. The other aspect is, like, we also need to make sure that how these models being deployed, right? The ML ops is one of the important aspect of ML operations, right? So we need to understand how, whenever you build these models, like, how will these models being deployed in a real world, right? Whenever there's a real-time scenario comes in, when a model needs to predict, how will that be working, and what is the, nitty-gritty of kind of deploying these models? That's second. Third would be integrating these data models with insights. I think from a data engineering standpoint, I think we are pretty much expertise into insights, but the only challenge comes in, like, how we will surface our insights knowledge with these machine learning models. I think those are some of the concepts which I can think of in terms of visualization and communication, so that, we can build that trust with the customers. We can also make sure that, these insights being surfaced to our customers, so that they can have their trust being there, and then probably use these ML models. I feel like these are some of the thinking which we need to, from a data engineering standpoint, should focus on, and we as a data guy or data enthusiast need to change our mindsets to accept and learn what's coming to our way, instead of sitting idle and not doing anything. So that is where I can think of they have to focus on and move forward. Yeah.
I think that the first thing that you mentioned with mindset and knowing the fundamentals, this should apply, I think, for a lot of other fields, not just data engineering. Thank you for that. And when it comes to the future, for example, the upcoming couple of years, as a data engineer, what do you expect, or what do you expect to see in terms of trends in AI and data engineering? What would you like to see developed in the upcoming years?
Sure. To answer this question, I think I'll just kind of talk about a minute on what used to happen before, and probably I'll go there. So I'll tell you the traditional way of any engineering life cycle, not data, not software, but how it handled, right? So back in, like, before AI come into picture, I think we used to follow workflow model. Now we follow the agile model, right? And what happens is, from a tech standpoint, when the requirement comes in, an engineer, they used to write the code, right? And that code is being then tested, then code is being kind of, validated, and then pushed to prod. And from a data engineering standpoint, we used to write those ingestion, transformation, and summarization, right? This used to happen, like, it's a pure coding. What would be the most exciting aspect of AI picking up in, or kind of merging into data engineering is I wanted to see, like, how AI can power the data pipelines, right? When I said AI powered the data pipelines, what I want is, like, how the data is being processed, transformed using AI. So I don't, as an engineer or as a leader, I wanted to make sure that whatever time we used to spend in writing these things can be automated. And that is where I feel like, this AI-powered data pipelines will help automating the writing these kind of, platforms like ingestion, transformation scripts, and automatically generate the insights out of it. I think that's one of the most exciting trend I can see in AI for data engineering, where we as an engineer can spend more time on things which adds more value, and also making sure that whatever value we bring in with these AI-driven data pipelines will help the broader group, so that our efficiency will increase, right? I think that's one of the important thing, or exciting trend I can think, because it's, at the end of the day, AI is all for the efficiency. And I think we all are talking about it. I think that these are some of the things I can think of where we can add more reliability, scalability in the efficiency which you work upon. So, sure, yeah, I think that's what I can think of. Yeah.
Thank you, Deepak, for that answer. I'm sure that the future will be exciting when it comes to AI and data. And thank you for this engaging talk today. I look forward to hear more from you at the summit, and also I hope that attendees will also find your insights helpful at the summit. Thank you very much for today, and see you at the summit.
Thank you so much. Thank you for this opportunity, Jan. Thank you.